Busman54 here. The day has come. Over a year ago, I went to Brownell's gun store and bought one of these. You know, you guys know I'm not against guns, but I never was really into guns until last year I got into trap shooting. Prior to that, I only had a BB gun. Well now, you know, I'm building the 50 cal muzzle loader, and I'm also building a new modern AR15. And I'm new to this. I couldn't believe you start with this, the lower receiver, that you would actually make a gun out of it. So over the course of the year, as money and time would allow, I would buy parts and pieces, and I finally got everything together to complete the gun, both the lower and upper. So we're going to video that. My son Jake's going to help me build it, and we hope you enjoy what you see. All right, we're going to get with the lower build. So Jake, what's the first step?
First step, you got to put in your magazine release. So you put it in your vise block, get your magazine catch in here, slide it in, spring on the other side, get your button put on there.
And what we didn't show, we bought, you know, a toolkit for building ARs. There's vise blocks. Because at the end of the video, we can show you the tools that we bought. You know, they're not real expensive.
Get it settled in there.
You show us the other side, the button.
So you got the button, you want to make sure it's nice and flush. Ours is sticking out just a little bit.
Hold it.
Ours is sticking out just a little bit.
Okay.
But that's where you start. You can see the catch in there.
So now we test it.
Yep. You can test it on here. They recommend you use an empty magazine. We will do that test a little later. For now, that's your first step, is installing your magazine release. So,
Next step. What do we do next? Yeah, Busman, it's kind of cold in the garage. The corn burner's not getting it up to temperature. So Jake volunteered to do the assembly because my hands were shivering and shaking.
next step is
Plus his eyes are better than mine.
bolt catch.
The bolt catch. All right,
Back to it.
we're back.
That works. Next comes trigger. We picked up a CMC trigger group. It's all pre-assembled, so it's pretty simple. Drop it on in. Then, CMC trigger comes with its own trigger pin set because it uses screws on each side to secure it.
After Jake gets this all buttoned up,
We'll come back for the next
we'll
step.
come back, we'll bring it up closer to the camera. So we're gonna shut it off for now, and I'm sure you're not real excited about them using Allen wrenches. Close to the, and then flip it the other way where they can see the inside of the trigger. There it is. Trigger groups. Yeah, you gotta pay some dollars for them, but
Well worth it.
get 3.5-inch pull, you drop it in, 4 little button heads, and you're good to go. So what's next? Takedown pin?
Pivot pin.
Okay, pivot pin is installed. You can see right there, this little spring, and it snaps in, put a little oil in it. Nothing too complicated. They come with a little install tool. So what's next?
Next is the safety selector.
Oh, we got to be safe, yes. Busman54 needs safety selectors, lots of them. Especially when you see this gun when it's done. You're gonna wonder what's wrong with Busman54.
Yeah. Check one thing real quick.
We'll be back. We're back. We put the safety in. And now we're putting the grip. It's a long. So this is the grip I got for. Well, I had a project at work this week, and I took my normal video camera I use for my YouTube videos. And yes, I left it at work. So I had to pull out my camera to use in place of it. So we'll see how all this works. So it's starting to look like a gun.
Yeah. Now you're recording?
All right, I wasn't recording earlier, so where we're at. Got the magazine release on, we got the bolt carrier catch, and we have the drop-in trigger group installed. Then we installed the safety selector, and when you do that, at the same time, that's when you install your grip, because it keeps a spring that works with your safety selector under load. So next, the buffer tube we're gonna do.
We're gonna do the buffer tube next. Trigger guard we'll get to shortly after that. It's kind of out of order of, you know, what most people say to do, but it's just a matter of, you know, the way we're doing it. When you do this, you've got a castle nut that goes on there. You want to make sure your big notches that you see there go towards the buffer tube. That's.
Let's see if I can zoom in on that.
Just don't mess with zoom. But you want to make sure those notches are on there, and then you just screw that down onto your buffer tube. Nice and far. Then you've got your end plate. This is what holds the spring on the back side of your lower to hold your takedown pin in place with the detent. So that goes, you've got the notch on the bottom here. Should just, yep, there we go. It's a little snug. Aftermarket parts are always a little snug. Yeah, slide that onto there.
That's because Busman went for bling bling parts.
Then, after you've got that, you screw your buffer tube into place. Now, the way to judge how far you go onto your buffer tube into the lower is there's a hole right down here.
I'll see if I can move the camera so you can see that.
There's a hole right there. That's where your buffer catch is.
Whoa.
Back up.
No, it's perfect.
Okay, so that's where your buffer catch goes. So you want to get the tube into where you're covering that hole, like so, and then you back it out to there. That's when you install your buffer catch. So you drop your spring in, and then your actual buffer catch. Then using a little pressure from your finger. See if I can get it. There we go. You screw it into place, and you go just past, because then you have to go back. Go ahead and back up.
I'm told to back up. Busman backing up. We're backing up, folks. All right, the lower is complete. I'll try to.
Even the cat agrees it's complete.
So there's the lower. All right, there's one thing we didn't show. I have, what's that called? A
Silent capture system.
silent capture system for my buffer, or my buffer tube.
There we go.
When all else fails, read the instructions. The spacer that you see there
Is for rifle length.
for rifle length, and we're not rifle length.
Nope.
So as you can see, he's got the buffer tube in. Okay, upper receiver. And the upper receiver is in the upper receiver clamp, and it is clamped in the vise. So what do we do next?
Well, your upper receiver comes already assembled with the forward assist and the ejection port cover. So those are two steps that we are not having to take care of.
Okay.
So we're basically skipping all the way ahead to putting the barrel on.
Cool.
That being said, that includes your gas system, which includes this pre-assembled, thanks to White Oak Armament, beautiful barrel. They already took the time to roll pin and assemble the gas tube with the gas block. Already got it all set up. We just have to loosen the block up to be able to slide it over the barrel, which is what I'm doing now. So we've got that. To be able to mount the barrel, you need your barrel nut, which you use out of your front handguard most of the time, because your front handguard is what you use to cover the barrel, and based on the handguard you use is what barrel nut you use. So here, the barrel nut is already secured in here, which there's an Allen head. I'm assuming they provide the wrench in here to get it out. Or I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Oh, I'm not wrong. Alright.
Okay, we're back. We got the barrel on. We didn't want to bore you with, torquing the barrel nut.
And test fitting the gas tube a few times.
So, got your barrel nut here. Let's see if I can. So there's the barrel nut. Got the gas tube running through it. So the gas tube. You got the gas tube block on. So now Jake's gonna put the upper handguard.
So far, next steps are just super simple. You got your charging handle, just drop on in with your bolt carrier group.
I got a nickel boron bolt carrier group from, I believe, Bravo Company.
Yep. No, you got it somewhere else.
I got it somewhere else.
Yeah. The rest of your stuff is Bravo Company, though.
Okay.
You've got a Bravo Company charging handle, upper. You've got a Bravo Company trigger guard, Monstrum front hand guard. Yeah, there's a lot of different manufacturers that went into this design, but that's it. That's your upper.
My upper's done.
So we'll be with you in just a second. We're gonna go grab the lower, and we're gonna put this thing together and see how it really looks.
Plus the accessories.
We'll deal with those in a little while.
Well, here it is. We got my sniper AR15 done. And sitting next to it is another AR. See the difference in size? Oh my, there's a difference in weight too. So, thanks for watching. Hope you weren't too bored. This is Busman54.